All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to our 1% Zoom, everyone. We have a very special guest tonight. Let me change our meeting view, because we are going to be hearing from a very special guest tonight, and she only has 30 minutes, so we are going to pick her brain for 30 minutes. But you guys, we have Ambassador Diamond and top earner Amber Parker with us tonight. So I am going to just find Amber and turn the floor over to her.
Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. So first of all, super excited to be on. And I just ask a few things that if we do Zooms is that one, you're present, two, you don't have those distractions. Whoa, that is a big screen.
You look beautiful.
Thanks. I have like literally no makeup on and this hair's about 9 days deep in the dry shampoo. It's cool. That's not a joke either.
But well, you've been working and not showering, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm going to switch to this view just so I can see everyone. Otherwise, I just see double of me.
You're fine. Okay. Yeah, you're fine. So can you just, this is our 1% of our team. These are our, these are our top producers. So could you just very quickly introduce yourself, who you are? Some of these people have only been in for a month and others have been in for 6 years.
Awesome. So you guys have started this business 7 years ago, just over 7 years ago. For literally the only thing I wanted was cash, if that was an option. If people asked, I was not going to be selling the product. I had no intentions of ever building a business. God literally placed this in my lap, knowing He knows the end in the beginning. And I just jumped. I had no idea what I was doing. I swore up and down I would never do network marketing. As a stylist, that was my passion. As a mom, I knew I was never meant to be just a mom. Not that that is anything wrong with that, but it just wasn't in my blood. I've worked full time since I was 14 years old. My senior year, I worked 3 jobs. I love a hustle, and I love just being a part of things and breaking my day up and having more than just the same mundane routine every single day. And so little did I know that this was going to turn and completely change our lives. Within the first 8 months, we went triple diamond, and it completely changed everything about our lives. And we're getting ready this year. We've been doing this full time since those 8 months. And me and my husband both, we were able to homeschool our kids now because we get to do an online entrepreneur program, which is so incredible. And it's just really completely changed our lives. We're getting ready to make some big moves this year, which we're excited for, just to completely flip the company over and get to see a lot more people and places and things. And so we're just really excited and grateful to be here.
That's amazing. Okay, so we have some really good questions, unless you kind of want to just share whatever's on your heart.
Go for it. Let's ask them. Let's give them what they want.
Awesome. So one of the questions, and I love this, I love this question. What was one of your biggest struggles in your journey? And then how did you overcome that?
Okay. There's so many, first of all, so strap up. It's kind of exciting. But one of the biggest things that I struggled with was spending people's money for them, because I was broke. I assumed everyone else was, and that's not true. That was a hard thing in the very beginning. The other thing that I've struggled a lot with was being worthy of this kind of an income, being worthy of this kind of a freedom. I genuinely feel like if people followed me around, they would think I live this dream life. And I do. I really do. Even today, being able to teach both of our kids how to make tacos. Like, our daughter's 12 and she's wanting to learn to cook, and having Josh and me home and our kids for lunch. Like, most people don't get to see their kids but barely eat dinner with them. And that's such a blessing. Being able to spend more time with my husband is obviously enhances your marriage. And just being able to travel, all the things just literally create my dream day every single day. And I feel like I live in a different world. So that was a struggle. And still to this day, it genuinely is still a struggle. Even today I had a call with Cammie just talking about what's next. And I'm like, dude, is this really where God wants me to go? Is like, just leave everything we have and do this crazy life. Like, it's so crazy. And then, obviously I've struggled with my weight up and down. When I got into the business, my goal was to lose the weight. My heaviest was 210 pounds, and now I'm 119. So it's just losing the weight. But in the midst of that, I went from 98 pounds to back up to 160 pounds and really fluctuated. And so I've struggled with how am I fat and build a business? How am I skinny and build a business? Like the emotions behind it, that's been a struggle. Struggled with paying off debt because I'm pissed that we even got into the debt in the first place. And when you have all this money, you're like, I don't want to pay off what I don't even have anymore, which is student loans. We don't even use our degrees. And so it's been really hard, but within the next 2 months, we'll be completely debt free. We lived off credit card and student loans for years when we were first married, because that's what we were told to do. So, I mean, being good stewards of my money and just making sure that I'm making smart financial decisions was a struggle early on. I had never made that kind of money. I was like, let's just spend it, right? Mm-hmm. So being disciplined in your finances, I mean, there's so many different struggles, but the one thing that helped me get out of every single one of those was growing my faith and personal and professional development every single day. And for 7 years, I've never missed a day where I don't listen to something. Not a day. Not a day when I was at a funeral, not a day when I was moving, not a day when my kids were crazy, not a day when I didn't feel like it, not a day for 7 years have I not listened to some form, way, shape of personal and professional development.
Okay, so let's hang out here for a second because you hit on so many things. Let's talk about, you said you struggled building the business when you were fat, you struggled building the business when you were skinny. So many people are right there right now, whether they have been in the business for a minute or for a while. You've been on both sides of that. Talk about that. What would be your tips on either side of that coin?
So one thing is, you guys, is that people want to see that you're normal and that you're human. Okay. They want to see that just because you work for a fitness, a health and wellness fitness company, it doesn't mean that your life's going to be perfect and you're going to have this bombshell body. Okay. Newsflash, guys, not going to happen. Right. So, you're going to find all different sizes that come in, and it doesn't really matter what size you are. Your reality is your reality. And so when I was 98 pounds, I was too skinny. I didn't need the wrap. And so people were like, I felt, this isn't true. I felt like people were like, oh, you're already skinny. Like, you don't understand what I need. I need to lose 50 pounds, blah, blah, blah. But then when I was fat, they were like, you work for a wellness company and you've been in 2 years and you're 60 pounds gained. Surely it works, right? And so then I struggled with that. And I was like, nobody wants to buy from me because now I'm fat and I better not show my face. And so for about a year, it was this up. There was no transparency. There was no pictures. I hardly have any pictures when I was to compare because I was so miserable and depressed. And that came from competing in fitness and ruining my metabolism. It had nothing to do with our company. It was literally a fitness competition I did that jacked me up, and I had to pay for that. And so then I was transparent in that, saying, you guys, this is me. And I was 160. Now I'm, again, 119. I'm like, put on a few pounds to feed some kids here. So I think it doesn't really matter where you're at. You're going to have this, what's kind of the word that I'm looking for is you're going to have confidence issues no matter when you're at. I've had it when I look banging. I still didn't feel comfortable in my skin. And when I was 212 plus pounds, still wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And that is a personal thing that I've had to grow through and just accept and love my body and start speaking life over my body, over my skin. Okay. There was a period of time when you wouldn't catch me dead doing a Zoom without makeup on. Thank the Lord for Dr. Nassif. Like, I'm obsessed. And Kenzie, for our skincare, you guys, it's phenomenal, hands down. And I go more days now without makeup, and feel more confident in my own skin. And it's really awesome. But that was an internal thing, not an external thing. The external affects what we tell ourselves on the inside. And so being able to really hone in on those affirmations, and on my Audible, I have to search and go to sleep to affirmations of, affirmations of self-esteem.
Okay.
That's true. Like, I'm not perfect, and I have to remind myself that I'm constantly learning. And if I want something, I have to really step it up, and it's up to me.
Okay. So I feel like you are like the personal development queen. Like, you're like, there's not a day that you have not done personal development. So what are some of your absolute favorite books? First of all, for leadership, second of all, for finances, and like growing your financial lid, I think was one of the questions.
So, hands down, anything John Maxwell, great content. And you guys, here's what's crazy is I'm finding that there's like plenty of people that are like, hiring coaches and they need this mentorship. And sorry, like there's so much free stuff out there. Until you've executed and been through everything, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, just don't do it. Okay. My very first leadership book that I did buy was Og Mandino, Greatest Salesman in the World. And that's more sales and leadership. The best, Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino, Zig Ziglar, and John Maxwell would be my top leadership. And Zig Ziglar and Og Mandino are like old school leadership that are still like, they just set the bar years ago. And then as far as you said, spiritual, right? Or no?
Yep, we can go there. But also like financial.
So spiritual, hands down, Erwin McManus. He has The Way of the Warrior, The Last Arrow, Chasing Daylight. Any of his stuff, his podcast is awesome. His church is online. Great stuff as far as leadership and just feeling normal. And then as far as money goes, so many money. Okay, are you guys ready? Because this is where I struggled genuinely. Like money has always, I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I worked 3 jobs, like I said, literally my senior year. If I wanted something, I had to pay for it. Our parents never bought us extra things, you know? So, okay, you guys ready? Rhinoceros success. It has to do with money, but not really, but kind of. Yes. Okay, just write it down. The anomaly mindset. For sure. That one's incredible. God wants you to be rich. Oh, man. What are some other ones? Happy Money. That one was incredible. And it really was the energy behind money and the exchange of money, and that money is just energy. And you either have a good energy or bad energy. You're either grateful to give or, you know, pissed off because you got to give the money. So those ones are really good. You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Oh man, there's so many, but I think too, one thing that you have to find out what you're missing in personal development, and whether that's confidence, time, consistency, self-esteem, whether that's business, leadership, friendships. Okay. That's something I studied, because we weren't born leaders. We have to grow into a leader, and leaders mean, how do I deal with different personalities? How do I react? Do I respond? Those kind of things. So, I mean, but you have to find out what's good for you and what you're missing right now, that missing piece of the puzzle, and then search it and find something that works for you. And I always say within the first 2 chapters, if you're not loving it, if you're not having an aha moment, switch it. Don't get through it just to get through it, but change it.
That's so good. One of my favorite money books that totally transformed my mindset was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Yep.
That's just
good book.
Absolute favorite. So put that on your list, you guys.
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about the necessity of lives to build your business?
The hardest part of leadership is what I want to say and what I have to say.
Let's talk about both.
I mean, there's no right or wrong way to build this business. And I always say that, because there really isn't. There's either a way that's working for you, meaning producing results, or it's not working for you, meaning it's not producing results. Now, I think too, everyone is different. And this is why I love the interview process before I bring on brand ambassadors, because if I say, what's your strengths and what your weakness is? If somebody says, what's your weakness? And they say, public speaking, but one of my requirements, because this is what I'm told to do, is go live, they're out. Mm-hmm. You ain't catching me going live. Like, I don't even know what I get into. And so I think that there's a personality for the lives. And I think that there's a time and a place, genuinely. Do I do lives? I really don't like them. Mm-hmm. I don't like them. I don't like to come on here and just kind of rattle. I love Q&A because I can just lead from the heart. Unless something is really planted on me, it's rare I go live. I don't know that it's like, if I didn't have live going ambassador, and I clearly went ambassador. So, right. But for people, it works for them, man. Like, I have a girl who goes live literally every single day, and she kills it. She likes it. She enjoys it. I know. So I think for me, especially in this business, do what scares you, but focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. And I'd rather be really good at 2 or 3 things than try to be 10% in 27 of them. And I think that there's, like I said, a time and a place for it, and a personality for it. And I say never say never, never say you're never going to do them, because there will come a time when maybe that's the only way we can build our business, and you better figure it out, right? But do I think it's the only way or a very important part? Not necessarily. I think the most important part is building this business face-to-face, belly-to-belly, and getting off social media.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about belly-to-belly. So you know that there's got to be, I mean, okay, so you guys drop a 1 in the chat if you build exclusively on social media, or like 90%.
This is good.
Yeah. So let's talk about some belly-to-belly.
Okay. The first thing that I kind of want to scare you guys with is if social media went away tomorrow, because Facebook isn't ours, Instagram's not ours, what would you do? Crash and burn. Like, we'd be like, what? I have to work a job. I have to work a business. I have to run a business. Okay. Yes, you run a business. You are the CEO of your business. Okay. Facebook isn't your CEO. Instagram isn't your CEO. That's you. I went completely ambassador. That's how I went triple diamond in 8 months, was literally belly to belly, face to face, person to person, stranger to stranger. 7 years later, I'm still making money on that very first person I talked to, because your eye contact is your contract. And when you can get in front of people, there's something about it. They're loyal to you. They respect you more. They feel invested in, and they will hang on way more than you ever can on social media. Social media, they can block you and you're done. They can hide you and you'll never see them again. They can snooze you for 30 days and you have no idea, and you're still knocking on doors, right? Making likes and comments and trying to engage with somebody, and they have no desire to talk to you. But if I see you, so this happened in New Jersey just 2 days ago, our waitress, you have to be conscious. And this is where I have a love-hate relationship with the phone and social media. You guys have to be conscious when you're out and about, okay? So here we are, 30 people deep into a restaurant, and not one of them has even offered the waitress the opportunity. And you can tell when you're out and about, you guys, Walmart, checkout, shopping, grocery shopping, like, pay attention to what's around you. And she was like, can I take your order? And I was like, oh, girl hates her job. I was like, is this your only job? And she was like, yeah. And it's really slow. And I don't like it. And I was like, we need to partner. I got you. We need to be friends. What's your Instagram? And I got her phone number. I got half of her contact information. She was like, I'm going to message, like, this is real. I'm like, yeah, it is. And I sat there in the restaurant and was interviewing her right then and there to get her as a distributor. Coffee shops in California when I'm traveling. Like, I love to be on the road. And my go-to question is, and I know this is going to be asked if somebody else, I think somebody did ask in the chat, how do you approach them? Okay. I do not approach them in a way that's like, hey, Amanda, do you want to make money? I work for my cell phone and I think you'd be really good at what I do. She's going to be like, no, you're crazy. Thanks. Bye. Peace out. Nobody wants to join your team. What is it that you can do for them to increase their life, increase their finances, increase their confidence? Okay. So, when I see people, usually I just look them dead in the eye. And I know that's hard for people, you guys, but practice looking yourself in the eye. Okay. So look them in the eye and I'll say, how many of you guys think I'm looking at you right now? Okay. So I look them dead in the eye and I'm just like, I pause and I'm like, can I ask you a question? What are they going to say? No. Okay. Is this your only job? And sometimes they say no. Sometimes they say yes. Either way, do you think I care? No. Okay. That's not the point. The point is to start the conversation. Is this your only job? And then they'll say, yeah, and I'm like, okay, how do you feel about partnering with me? I work full-time on social media and I travel the world. Does that sound like something you'd like to do? I think you'd enjoy it a lot more than this. And I'd love to share the opportunity with you. And they're like, wait, what? Yeah, like that's an option. Because people don't even know that what we do is real. They don't know that they can have this freedom. And so then I just add them on, and I literally am like, what's your Instagram? What's Facebook? And she was like, I don't have Facebook. I said, are you willing to get it to make money? She was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's talk.
So good.
And everywhere I go, you guys, there's no magic anything. It's just doing it and then falling flat on your face. So many times I've had people be like, no, I don't really want to edge. And I'm like, no worries. I totally understand if income isn't something that can help you. No problem. It's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can take my order. Like, don't let it beat you up. Just keep going, you know?
That's so good. The last distributor I signed, she was from CVS, right?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Just talked to her and literally she signed up the next day. And
Yeah.
we spend days, weeks, months, and years with people on social media when we can get people signed up in hours and days face to face. It's drastically different.
2 days after Christmas, I signed someone for the $2.99 kit. She delivered packages to my house. She was my Amazon driver. And she commented on my hair. I was like, girl, you hustle Amazon, you can hustle this. Met up on the 27th, and she signed up $2.99 when it was a $69 kit.
Okay, so you shared this in the VIP page, and I thought it was so impactful, and I think that there's something to be said for making our business more professional, because this is a professional industry. Now, people treat it like it's not, but it is a professional industry, and when we approach it as professional network marketers, people will take you more seriously. So can you talk about, first of all, the book that you're reading and the interview questions that you're using for your distributors?
Yeah, absolutely. So my current book that I'm reading I'm reading it again, actually, but it's The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. But the book that I think you're referring to is called Build to Last. And I wish I had this book when I first started network marketing, because it's incredible. And it really goes into you having a CEO mindset versus an employee mindset, and you hiring employees versus business partners. And that's what we need to look at, is who are our business partners, you guys. They're choosing you to partner in business with them. Okay. This is like, if your friend were to say, let's start a franchise, you're going to be like, okay, yeah. Like, you have to put thousands and thousands of dollars down. Okay. So interview is key. I'll share with you guys the questions. Let me pull them up. And you guys can make these your own. You can also Google interview questions. And the reason why is because the underlying question when you're recruiting is, if I sign up with Brittany, is she going to be there for me? How is she going to help me be successful? And if you're willing to invest time and money, especially just time, into them before they even put down money, they can tell, like, okay, she's going to be there for me. If we're willing to do it without money, surely we'll do it with money, right? So I send these questions. You can send them in text, an email, Facebook Messenger, however you want. And I just ask a few questions. Okay. Simple questions. Where do you see yourself in a year? Okay. Maybe like, I don't know. I don't know where the potential goes. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Would you be willing to invest $100 from your income back into your business monthly in order to make more money? That's an auto ship. Okay. Is $20 a month worth it to you for an app to easily run your business and website? Yes or no? How many hours a day can you work? What monthly income would you like in 30 days? Would you consider yourself someone who sees the glass half full or half empty? What would your friends say are your best quality? Okay. And which business kit are you wanting to start with? $99, $299, or $589? And once they answer these questions, and then when they're done, they'll send it back to me. And then I set up a 15 minute, it's usually 5, phone interview, and just talk to them about their questions like I'm interviewing them. Okay. I will send these to Noelle and she can get them to you.
Yeah, I've got them.
Okay. So again, you can add whatever you want to that. If you have like Zooms, are you going to be available on Monday nights, at 8 p.m. to be on a coaching call with me, or what days work for coaching calls, anything like that, you guys. And it tees you up as the CEO, and I'm hiring you. I'm choosing you too. You have to choose me. You can choose anyone in the world, but you also have to choose me and know where my standards are and how serious I am about this business. And you might find too that this is a numbers game. You're going to go through a lot of people who won't even fill out the interview. You're going to find a lot of people will, and then they still won't sign up. It's the same thing, but it's for me, I see too, if they're willing to fill out 10 questions, that's a start, man. Right? Like sometimes these people get in and they're like MIA right away. So I love that. And it's really just kind of shifted the quality that we're bringing in too.
That's so good. Okay, I have a couple of, I know we only have a couple of minutes left with you. So I have a couple of like leadership, specifically leadership questions. So I'm just going to
Mhm.
read these.
Okay.
Um, I know, so this is the question. I know they say you must first believe for it to happen. What if your own belief is there, but you feel a different vibe from your tribe?
Ooh, I wish I knew who asked this. Um,
I mean, I can
as
tell
in,
you, she's probably
as
going
in
to
like your
call that.
friends or like
From no, your team, from your team.
you have to find new people who believe. Like, I mean, I had to get the stupid word tattooed on my shoulder. I literally have believe tattooed because I had to remind myself I have to believe in me first. I'm the captain of my ship. I have to believe in me. And if I don't believe in my power, my calling, my purpose, my passion, what am I doing? And let's say Brittany's not going to necessarily believe in it. She has to borrow my belief before she finds her own. Sarah's not going to have the belief when she first starts. Duh, she just paid $99. All she believes in is her bank account that's negative, right?
Mhm.
So we have to cast that vision for them, and you have to find new people who believe and believe even more and go even further, because you have to be the fastest working, the best working, the most consistent on your team. Like, and if someone comes on my coattails, I got to go. Like, and that's what I want. I'm looking for the 1 to 2 that want to be on my coattails, that want to go with me, where I'm not looking back like, hello, anyone, Bueller? No, come on. Like, I'm ready to go. My belief in this company, like, and that's why I love getting people, face to face, is because texting is so, there's no emotion behind it.
Mhm.
But when you are in front of people, like one of my clients was like, dude, you act out when you speak. Like, I love it because I just like get this passion. And it's because this company has completely changed my life. $200 changed my life. Why am I not excited about that? You don't need to be making $18,000, $20,000 for you to have the belief. You have to believe that it changed your life now. You have to hold the crown before you can ever wear it. Find that belief, and that will execute. And if your team doesn't, chances are that's a reflection of you. And where's your belief at? And it's always a check. If something's happened in my team, check yourself.
That's so good. That's so good.
That was a
Okay.
little bit of a rant. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
I
And this
hate it.
question, I'm going to let you answer it. And this might be our last question. Okay. How do you deal with lids placed on your team by others?
Well, I think that there's like a hidden question underneath this as well. But if there is a lid, you can either remove it by casting bigger vision. But usually if I find that my team's like hanging out here, it's because I haven't dreamed big enough to allow them to come with me, And so check yourself. And find new. I think that that's the biggest thing, is we get stuck on the 5 people that enrolled with us 4 years ago, or the first 5, and you're like, I signed up 3, but they're not doing anything. Okay, then go find new people. That's why in my mind for 7 years, I have no ambassadors, I have no presidential, I have no triples, I have no diamonds, I have nobody. On the first of the month, I have no one on my team in my mind. And that is how I keep recruiting. That is how my fire stays lit, is because I'm constantly building someone new versus looking at what's not working or what's stagnant. But that comes from you. And when we start to look at, she's my emerald, she's good. Yeah, she's a ruby, and I just want to manage. I'm going to sit here and hope that it kind of goes together and it's great. You are literally putting the lid on your own team. So I'm curious, in the chat, I want to know March 28th, because we don't promote on the 31st. We promote on the 28th. In 2020, we're doing the new things, bigger ways. Where do you guys see yourself by March 28th? Every single person in the chat. Let's go. Okay. Emerald, diamond, double. I want diamond, 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 double, 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 triple, triple, ambassador, double diamond, presidential. Okay. Now, I want you guys to raise the bar 1 to 2 levels. Okay. So if you put diamond, it's triple. If you put double, it's prez. Okay. If you put ambassador, it's ambassador diamond. Okay. Because we're going to open up that 2.0. Now, here's why. Because when we shoot for diamond, we may fall on emerald. Okay. But you have to realize too, you saying I want diamond, that means you're going to help somebody get about an $800 paycheck and 3 people get about $500.
Mhm.
So there's your lid. So if you have, let's say Sarah comes to me and she's like, Amber, I want $10,000 in the next 90 days, but I only want diamond. Sorry, Sarah, you can't pass me. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? So I'm challenging you guys to get a clear intention, number one, on what that diamond paycheck's going to look like, what that double diamond, to a penny. And you cast that vision, you print it out, you post it everywhere, and you stay focused on what you want. That'll naturally raise your lid. I'm like, I want $85,000 November 2020 paycheck. Hands down, it is done already, which means I need 15 ambassadors on my team. Who are those 15 ambassadors? If I want 15 ambassadors, how many triples do I need? And then I start recruiting for that. Not expecting anyone on my team to that's right now, but I start recruiting and casting that vision of who I want. Not to say that if you want $200, you're not welcome on my team. That's cool. We're down. We can do that. But I want residual income, and I want people who are like, dude, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that grit. But you got to be crystal clear. As vague as you are, as vague as it's going to respond back. So get clear.
Okay. So good. Well, I know you have another Zoom to get on. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending 30 minutes with us.
You're so welcome.
Gave us a wealth of knowledge. So you guys go love on Amber's page. Tell her thank you.
You're so welcome.
We'll see you later. Thanks.
I'm going to leave this meeting in case you guys have more talking to do, but thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Sounds good. All right. We are going to switch, and Brittany, Mary Lisa, and Mary are potentially going to unmute themselves. Come here. Did you guys love that? Oh my gosh. So much from Amber.
Yeah, it was awesome. Lots of good notes taken.
All right. Well, we're going to roundtable for a few minutes, you guys. You have the 4 VIPs that make up the leaders of this 1% and all of our 1% here. And we are here for you guys. We want to know what questions you have, anything that you submitted that Amber didn't cover, anything that she talked about that we need to dig into further. Go ahead and put that in the chat, and we're just going to talk for a couple of minutes. We're not going to keep you guys too long, and just also talk about what's working this week, okay? Because I feel like that changes on a week-to-week basis. I'm going to go get a kid to bed while you guys chat.
Yeah, guys, drop those in the chat. Don't be scared. Ask any questions. All right, so we've got, does anyone host a post on Instagram? All right, Mary Lisa, I know Noelle's on here. I do not host a post on Instagram. Facebook's my jam. You guys?
I suck at Instagram, but I know people who do, and they do it the same way that they do on Facebook, with either asking them to post like on their, whatever you call it, timeline or newsfeed on Instagram, or also utilizing their stories. Like, a lot more people utilize the story host to post on Instagram versus the regular one.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest stories too. The people that I do know that do Instagram definitely do stories. I feel like that's the best way to go about doing that. So, Noelle, do you host a post on Instagram?
I'm going to hit on that for just a second, before I pop out, because the distributor that I just got, went in to sign her up today and then realized she had renewed, and because she signed up with me 2 years ago and just did nothing. She literally never even signed a customer. So I did sign a new distributor today, even though she just renewed her account. She was from Snapchat, okay? And it was the same concept of doing host to post on Instagram and Snapchat. So I wanted to share that with you guys really quickly. Sorry, she is really excited to see Sandy and all of your faces. But I got this from Meech Gonzalez, who is a double diamond in California, and she's amazing. And she signed 6 customers this month so far on Snapchat with something that's super, super simple. So I'm going to read this to you guys, and then I'll throw it in the chat. Stop right now. Stop. Okay, so what she's doing, so this is on Snapchat. You guys can use this on Instagram as well. Stop. You need to go downstairs and go see your father if you're going to be silly. She randomly adds people And Sarah, if you have any advice on this too, because you were on the Zoom with her, you can do this as you're following people on Instagram. She sends them this message, but this is for Snapchat. She says, "Hi, Lovey. Thank you so much for the ad. I hope that I post something each day that inspires you and makes your life a little easier. I love making connections with amazing women. Have an amazing week." And just leaves her name. Okay. Super, super simple. I'm getting people responding back to that and just like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to connect with you." You know, like it opens up the conversation. Now you're on their radar, which I think is half the battle. And then she asks them for a hat. Excuse me, I'm talking. No, your gum is not red. Be quiet. And then so, "Hey girls, so super random. I don't know if you'd be interested in my business, but I was wondering if you'd be willing to help me spread the word about my business by throwing a post up on your story and just tagging me." Super simple. And then she sends them it's for the story. And then they directly text you. So whether it's for the coffee or the TFX or strictly weight loss or income or whatever, they are coming to you. You don't have to worry about checking your messages. They're going to text you. Is that helpful?
Okay, sorry. Were you done?
Yes.
I saw someone ask how they keep up with Host-a-Post. I just started doing what Jess taught me to do about a month ago, which is saving them, like creating an album. So saving the post. Like you can go to, let me pull it up on Facebook. So this person posted for me, right? And I'm not asking them to tag me anymore. Like I'm clicking the 3 dots in the corner of the post. Once you click that, it'll say save post, snooze, blah, 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 like the different options. You click save, and then this is going to pop up, and you can create an album for each month. So like you can see I have December hap, January hap, and then I'm saving them in that specific album. And if you go to your menu on Facebook and then go to your saved, like right there, I can pull up December Host-a-Post and then literally scroll through every single person that Host-a-Posted for me, and I can bump it, I can check comments, like, and that's where they all are. So I'm keeping track of them that way. Hold on one second. But we're also doing like the old-fashioned pen and paper. But that is like the easiest digital version that I found.
Well, and I think you guys too, I'll be honest, you know, when I do posts on my personal Facebook page and I have like 200, 250 comments, I don't try to rush through those and message every single one within like 30 minutes. And I think so often you guys are like, "Oh my gosh, I got 200 comments. I got 100 comments. I got to hurry up and get through all these." But guys, it's like a rag, okay? You have a rag, you submerge it in water, it gets all filled up. And so what do you guys, what do? We got to squeeze that, we squeeze that rag out. We have to make sure that we're doing this with our Host-a-Post, because the last thing that you want to do is just have someone throw it up, forget about it, not go and interact on it, not go and post a picture below it. And then the potential that could have had is lost because you did not do what really you were supposed to do with that. So guys, I'll be honest, I did a post on my Facebook page the other day. I had 200 and something comments. Guess what? That was like 2 days ago. You know what? I just got through those tonight. And that's okay. And I've got so many prospects. I'm signing so many customers from that. But I'm taking my time to make sure that I get every single last drop of prospects out of each of those Host-a-Post. So don't think you've got to message all 200 people. If they want to be in these drawings, the drawings that we're doing, believe me, they're going to be there today or tomorrow. Okay. But the last thing that guys want to do is just have people randomly throw it up and then forget about this post and do this. If you're going to get overwhelmed, calm down and just do a little bit at a time. Okay. So Wendy said, "What do you usually say when you follow up after the first contact?" So Wendy, I'll be honest, for myself personally, it just depends on what we were talking about. Okay. So for example, let's say they were interested in the premium pack that we're talking about right now. So if I talked to her yesterday, I may follow up and say, hey, Wendy, I just want to touch base with you. I know yesterday you talked about getting started on our premium pack and letting me help you with your weight loss goals. Do you have any more questions for me? Something along the lines of that. I love asking them if they have any more questions. Occasionally I'll throw in what's holding you back. I love asking different things like that. But guys, the biggest thing is be yourself. Okay, be yourself. I feel like so often, it's all about scripts, or you're not really sure what to say. Just follow up and ask them, like, listen, girl, I know we talked about the premium pack. Did I answer your questions? Do you have any more questions? I'm so excited to be able to help you. Be really genuine, and ultimately, you're going to get a lot more customers that way. All right.
For me, it really depends on like where we left the conversation off. Like if I literally answered everything and we went over price and whatnot, I'll have a more red approach where I'm like, hey, I know you were really interested in whatever their goal was, growing your hair out, losing those extra 50 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Like I have I have one discounted spot left for whatever it is. Like I wanted to offer it to you first. Are you ready to get started? Or do you want to take advantage? Or do you want to take my last spot? Something like that.
Yeah, I definitely think every scenario is different. I know Noelle would say the same thing. All top leaders are going to say every scenario is different. But at the end of the day, if you're not really sure what to say, touch base with your enroller, touch base with your leader, and ultimately we can help you with what to say. All right.
So I have a question. Was this on not getting to people fast enough?
No, we talked about that earlier, just about what was that one? Something about we were talking about host to post earlier.
Okay, awesome. You guys, I'm doing business hacks. That is like literally, I'm talking to probably 150 new people that are potential distributors from doing business hacks, because that's all I'm doing, and that is all from a 3-hour work session on Saturday. Yeah. And and people are like flooding my inbox. They're coming to me and they're like, you're going to teach me how to work remotely. Like I'm using something. I'm not saying, like, I'm not talking about network marketing in the post. I'm not talking about like even making money online. I'm talking about working remotely with the picture of a cell phone. And people want that. Everybody wants that. And so it's interesting because I'm having people even come to me from other companies that are looking to make money. And so a lot of people, like Amber said, they don't know what we have is real. And so when you can voice message them, when you can video chat them, when you do go live in your stories or on your page, like they can see that you're a real person. And really, if you can just come to them and say, girl, listen, I know that this probably doesn't even seem legit to you because it's online and you don't know if I'm real or not. Like, address their hesitation right up front. They're going to be so open to talk to you.
I just wanted to add in, like, I don't know if you're doing this, but I'm putting my phone number in every single opportunity host to post, because I'm getting people that may not comment on their post that they're doing, but they're texting me and like putting a keyword in, whether it's like opportunity or whatever. And then I'm getting those text messages. And one of the first things I'm asking them is like their name and what their Facebook or Instagram handle is, so that I can also get them on social media.
Yeah, I think that's great for sure. All right, guys, let's see. We got a bunch of questions, so let's try to hurry and get through these. Okay, so yes, Sophia, we will get you the interview questions. No one else going to get those. How with the mindset of starting over each month, do you not get exhausted building? I think you really have to think about it like this, guys. Technically, what do we do every month? January 1st, February 1st, what happens? But it starts at zero, right? We all start at zero, right? It always starts over, So, but the accept success, like Noelle's right, like that's what we are trained on. That's the steps to success. And so essentially, yeah, every month we are starting over. And so I see it like this, like it shouldn't exhaust you. It should pump you up to know that you're going, like when you have that why and you catch that vision for this company and what it can do for you, overall, it should pump you up. It should get you excited, because if you complete your steps to success, what have you just done? You're working to build rubies. If you do that 3 months in a row, you build, you guys build 3 rubies in that organization. What rank are you? That's diamond. $2,000 a month, guys, that's life changing. When I started my business, I had $30,000 in credit card debt, you guys. I had a $40 a week grocery budget. You guys ever tried to spend $40 a week at the grocery store for a husband that eats like it ain't nobody's business? Okay, it's a dang struggle. So all I'm saying is it's about your vision, and it's truly about, your why. And ultimately, that's what's going to push you guys. I'll be honest. Like, I've got a child dealing with hardcore anxiety right now. I could literally go on and on and on. I've probably cried like 500 times today. I'm really even surprised I'm on here right now, but I'm on here because I have goals, I have a vision, and I know 2020 is going to be bigger than anything else. So ultimately, you have to push beyond life. You have to push beyond exhaustion. You have to push beyond everything else because that's why you're working. That's why you're here. You know, we all want a better life. So you have to kind of look at it like that, and don't look at it as I'm exhausted. Look at it as I'm working for something greater for my family. And that's why I'm busting my butt right now, so I can have all the things and help all the people later. So anything you want to add to that, ladies?
Like legit, the only time I don't work is when I'm like blinded by a migraine. And I'm not even kidding. Like that's one of the things like Chad always like laughs about. He's like, you even work when you're in labor and having a baby, because I literally blitz my nurses when I'm in labor and having babies. Like the only time I don't talk about this to people is literally when I'm like can't see because I'm like in pain, or
The only time is if I'm unconscious. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I mean, I told Noelle and them earlier, I'm like, I feel like I have a migraine coming on, like, right in here. So, like, I get it, but I'm still on here. I'm still zooming, doing all the things, game planning. And so, at the end of the day, if your why's big enough, then it doesn't matter. Guys, I was in the hospital having my last child, and I signed a little customer and distributor after my water broke while I was in labor. You know, when you have a why and you're ready to work, it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to go after it. All right. So let's see here.
I'm looking for these questions and I'll send them. If I can't find them, then we'll get the replay out
Okay.
because I thought I had them written down somewhere. I can't find it.
Post, how you keep up. Talked a little about post for Instagram.
Someone asked, do they get upset when it is a business and not a job? I mean,
Okay, can I rant on this for a second? Can I talk about this for a minute? Because I'm actually, guys, I'm going to be going live like this week about this exact same topic. So my girl Mandy, shout out to my girl Mandy on here, came over from Unique, and she literally sent me a screenshot the other day of somebody that she was talking to about the business opportunity. And literally, she told them about what it was, and they said, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was a real job. As they said, I thought this was a real job. Okay. First off, the money that you make with this business is no different than the money that I used to make in my healthcare organization when I worked in healthcare. I used to work in healthcare, you guys. I used to bust my butt 50 hours a week. I took 16 credit hours in school. I did a 35-minute commute each way. And guess what? I make way more money doing what I do now, helping people on my team have success, helping women and men feel better in their own bodies. So the people that say things like, oh, well, I want a real job. Well, that's fine. Go out and find your real job, make $10 an hour. You're worth more than that, honey. And that's what we've got to get people to see. Everybody's worth more than $8 an hour, $10 an hour. I don't know what y'all's average an hour here, but here in North Carolina, it's crap. And that's me just putting it nicely. But that's what I'm saying is, like, honestly, guys, a lot of those people that say things like that, they're small-minded and they can't see anything beyond that. And that's why here at It Works and in network marketing in general, we have to get past that, and we have to show the world that this is an amazing industry and we can make amazing money working, like Noelle said, from our phone. So our money is just as good as somebody that's a lawyer or a doctor or anybody else, guys. We all spend it the same way. So
yeah, and if somebody's upset about having to pay to join, I just tell them, you're going to pay to put gas in your car to go to that job that pays you minimum wage. You might as well actually invest in something that's going to build you a business, like, and put a number on that. But they're going to spend money no matter where they're working, but people don't realize that. And so when you're like, yeah, it's kind of like you haven't put gas in your car to get to work, making that go to that job.
I say this all the time. I worked at Texas Roadhouse as a server when I was 18 years old. All right. And so guess what I had to do when I got that job there? I had to go buy black pants. I had to go buy non-slip shoes. I had to go buy me some pens to be able to write orders down. I probably spent at least $100 non-slip shoe or whatever that crap's called.
They're
Guys,
expensive.
They're not cheap. They're still 60, 70, $80. They're not cheap. And then I got to have more than one pair of black pants because I can't wear the same. You guys have ever worked in like food, you come out of there smelling like grease. You got grease all over your shoes, grease all over the bottom of your pants. You guys know the dang struggle. So all I'm saying is I spent at least $100 on that job. And I'll be honest, that's my personal testimony. And you better believe when somebody says, so why does it cost to get started? I use that all the time. So if you guys have people that say things like that to you, come up with, maybe you've worked in, somebody said nursing shoes are $100. Maybe you've been a server like I was back in the day. Find a way to be able to connect with them based on your stories. Because I guarantee you, every single person that's on here, they've started a job and they've spent anywhere from $50 to $200 to get started in that job.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I use the same examples, and even when I'm talking to men, like I'll use construction as an example, because most of the time they have to have some sort of compliant boot or tool or whatever it is that they need to work the job. I'm like, you just don't realize that you're spending money to work at your job, but you are. Even any typical office setting, you need to have at least business casual. Business casual requires like closed-toe shoes, certain type of slacks, like certain type of clothing, like cuts if you're not, used to having those certain type of cuts and all sorts of stuff. So like, and they make you cover your tattoos and whatnot. So it's more restrictive. But yeah, you have to spend money to literally work anywhere. I don't know about McDonald's, but I'm probably like, you probably have to pay for your uniform.
McDonald's was my first job, and I still had to get the pants and the shoes. So yes. And you smell it, and you get zits because you're covered in grease all day long, by the way. Saying.
Hey guys, you know what? This is one of my pet peeves when people, tell me that. And Mary here, and it's when I get that, I saw a quote on Facebook that said, people miss a lot of opportunities because society teaches us to look for jobs and not opportunity. So people used to piss me off when they used to send that. And then I would ask them like, oh, are you, when they say like, I'm looking for a real job. And I would tell them, are you looking for a job or a business opportunity? And then then I have to kind of like change it and educate them into exactly what we do. And it's like, you already have a job. Why do you want to put more hours building something for somebody else? So just putting it into that perspective and just kind of putting myself in their shoes and educating them in that, because a lot of people are not familiar with what we do. They're not familiar with our industry. And sometimes it's just that mindset and that ignorance sometimes that they don't know, they just know it as a pyramid scheme. So that's what I like to tell them. It's just, just tell them it's a business opportunity, and I can't wait for your life, Brittany.
Girl, it's coming. Once I get rid of this headache mess, it's coming. You just wait. And guys, I'll be honest, just really quick. I know we talked about personal development earlier. Devin Franklin, The Success Commandments, let me just tell you, it is I've read a ton of personal development books. John Maxwell is definitely one of my very favorites, but Devin Franklin's book literally has been amazing. And one of the things that it talks about is like Hollywood and just, comparing it to other industries. But one of the things I read today talked about pyramid schemes. Guys, people have to understand everything is a pyramid. Everything. It does not matter what industry you are in. It's a freaking pyramid. It's all shaped like this.
Girl Scouts is a pyramid, you guys.
Everything is. And guys, I'll have to show the girls in the accountability chat some of the different things from this book. But y'all, it's rocking my world. And it's giving me some amazing things to come back when people say, oh, well, that's a pyramid scheme. Oh, well, people don't, you don't have to, spend money to go get a job. Yes, you do. So if you guys have never read that book, then put it on your reading list. It's amazing.
Devon Franklin is the producer and director of Ava's favorite movies, like multiple movies. He's amazing.
Multiple movies, like a lot of Christian movies and different things like that. Like he's amazing.
He produces only the good Christian movies, not like the stupid, like cheesy ones. Like
the good ones. He's amazing.
I can find that on Audible, so you'll have to let me know. I
actually looked. I was like, please tell me he's got a podcast. I need a podcast from him, and I never found one.
He has some other things on Audible. He has the Hollywood Commandments, but not
but the Success Commandments are not on there yet. Yes,
well, I will look for that. Awesome. Okay, do you guys have any more questions before we wrap this up? Next week we have another special guest, but it's going to be a surprise as always.
Melanie, I saw you just said, I was just told tonight that it's a scheme. What's your response to them? I'm going to go get this book, and I'm going to literally tell you guys. Well, I can send it to Noelle. I know a lot of you guys may have to get off here, but I want to
read it, and then we can put it in print and put it in our chats later too. That would be awesome.
Because I'm pretty sure I highlighted it because I was like, oh, so hold on one second, you guys. Give me just a minute.
Okay, well, you're looking for that. Alicia had asked for the best suggestions for follow-up after the business video. So I don't know what your conversation is when you're leading them into that. But when I'm following up with someone, I get a when can they watch it? And if they're within that time frame, I follow up. So if they're like, I'm going to watch it right now. Well, if it's a 15-minute video, within 25 minutes, I'm going to follow up with them and be like, hey, did you get to watch that video? You know, but I always ask, what was your favorite thing? I never ask, what do you think, right? But you always want to ask, what's your favorite thing? Mary Lisa, Mary, you guys
keep
have
it
anything on that?
positive and not leave it open-ended like that. With what do you think? You definitely want to be specific and control the conversation a little bit there.
All right. We got somebody ready to type this up.
I will type for you. Go
All
ahead.
right. It says, every business is a pyramid. There are a lot more people at the bottom looking for handholds to start climbing than there are at the top occupying the corner offices and taking home 7-figure bonuses. So if you're starting your career, climb. You have plenty of company. Talk to people.
Pause.
I know. I'll end up typing it out and giving it to you guys.
All right.
Talk to people. Band together for support and ideas. Getting up the pyramid is rough. Lean on each other, have each other's back, and be happy for each other's success. So it doesn't matter if you're in Hollywood. It doesn't matter if you're in healthcare like I was, guys. It was still a pyramid. It doesn't matter if you are in the school system. My girl Victoria, she'll tell you the same thing. It does not matter where you are at. It is all a pyramid. So for those people out there acting like they're holier than thou and acting like, oh, what we do is a pyramid scheme, everything is, honey. So work your butt off. Start at the bottom. I don't care if you're a presidential ambassador or Stephanie and y'all done. We all started at distributor. Work your butt off and get to the top because every single person can do it.
So I think it would be really great to send them that and then to ask them a question. Are you interested in taking a deeper look at this company? Because you have to invite them. And then you guys, we have been featured in Forbes, Inc. 500, Success from Home magazine, like you name it. Go pull one of those articles. Wall Street Journal. Go pull an article from the Wall Street Journal or from Forbes and send that to them.
I just saw we're like number 268 or 238, something. One of those, like on the Forbes top 500.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are things that people recognize as tangible success footprints. So introduce that to them. Pyramid schemes are not a thing. Like pyramids are a thing. It's a shape. It's a shape of all existing organizations. But pyramid schemes are not a thing. And I have this really, really big, long thing I wrote that's like a Jim Rohn thing on pyramid schemes. And occasionally, like, I'll tag somebody in that when they ask me to. And then they're like, oh my gosh. And then they share it. Like, it's really lengthy, but it's really, really good. And it just, I don't know, it's just true. And people read it and they're like, I feel stupid. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but Jim Rohn is amazing. So, okay, well, we are going to wrap this up. So proud of all of you guys for just being here and for working consistently. I know that we've had a lot of kids that are sick, a lot of us that are sick, a lot of husbands that are sick, which is worse than children being sick half the time.
Yes.
A lot of things going on, right? And you guys are still focused and enrolling and, fighting to stay in this group, which is amazing because we have a bomb lineup of people, just like Susan Wade and Amber Parker, coming for you in the weeks to come. So keep your enrollments up, stay in the group, and we're going to be here for anything and everything you need. Lots of immunity. You guys have an awesome week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye.